that is scary, folks.
That's 120 miles an hour wind.
Yeah,
right there.
we have an unbelievable inflow jet moving in across Fredericktown right now, pushing into Marquand. That purple color, like Brian said, this is the radar is picking up 120 mile per hour winds aloft. So with the rain very heavy, it's going to push down winds probably up to 100 miles per hour in southeastern Madison County. So southeastern Madison County, parts of Bullinger County, the central parts. I want to zoom in a little closer to this because I want to get some roads. This is dangerous. You need to be underground. You need to treat this like it is a big, wide tornado that is headed your way. Marquand, this is, I've been saying, Double D Campground, all those campgrounds right along the Castor River Valley, south of Marquand. Folks, we're going to see trees blown into campers. This is going to be an ugly setup if what is on radar is happening at the ground. A very intense line of wind moving into Marquand. It's going to be moving into Marble Hill. I know we just had another severe thunderstorm warning issued. I think it is for Bullinger County all the way into Cape County. We've already been issued a warning for this Bo Echo as it is moving in. Marble Hill, you got a little bit of time. Jackson, Cape Girardeau, we need to be going to our basement. Just because this is a severe thunderstorm warning, treat it like a tornado. We need to go to our basement. We need to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you don't have a basement, find that lowest interior room because that is just unbelievable winds that is going to be moving through the area. This is going to cause significant power outages. This is going to cause significant tree damage. Unfortunately, we will more than likely see trees falling on houses, falling through mobile homes. This is a scary sight, folks. That is a strong indication of extremely damaging winds moving into Marquand right now. It's just showing extremely strong. I'm just curious if my query tool is working again. It was not working. And, okay, there it is. You see what that number is right there, folks? Now, ignore the negative number. That's because it's going towards the radar. I just happened to pick out one of the pixels. I didn't pick out the strongest one. That's 112 mile per hour winds moving into Marquand. 112 mile per hour winds. Now, again, that's up at the cloud level, so more than likely when that gets down to the ground, we're talking 80 to 90 mile per hour winds. But I have a hard time believing we will not see 100 mile per hour wind gusts somewhere with this Bo Echo that is moving into the Marquand area right now. And again, this is going to move right into Marble Hill. This is going to move into Scopus. This is going to move all along Highway 72 in northern Bullinger County, Highway 72, Millersville, Cedricville, Jackson, Cape Girardeau, Dutchtown, Delta. All these areas are under the gun for significant wind damage. The kind of storms we don't see very often. We haven't seen anything like this since before 2010 that I'm aware of, and we've got a very strong Bo Echo that is moving in towards the area. You can see the blanket severe thunderstorm warnings for Perry County, Cape Girardeau County, Scott County, northern Stoddard County. So far, south of the boundary, it is behaving, except for this one storm near Elsinore. I would expect to see another severe thunderstorm warning issued at some point for Carter County into southern Wayne County, northern Butler County, and western Stoddard County there, because that storm is looking very ugly, and it being on the south end would probably have the greatest probability, if you will, of producing a tornado if one was to produce a tornado. So we can scope in. This is right near the Elsinore area. Marty, I know you're listening to me. Let me know what you're seeing out there if you can safely. We're seeing weak rotation with the storm. Nothing impressive right now, so that's great news. The hail's, oh gosh, yes, there's definitely some hail moving across Elsinore right now. You can see that green color in there. So would not surprise me if we see another severe thunderstorm warning issued for the Elsinore area. But the strongest winds, the dangerous winds, are to your north right now, and hopefully they will stay to your north. There's a severe thunderstorm warning just probably trimming the current warnings that we have. And again, right now we do not have any tornado warnings in effect for the Heartland. So if you're just tuning in and wondering why are we staying on the air with severe thunderstorm warnings, one, because there are so many of them. We've seen numerous reports of power outages, damage, and large hail. And two, we need to treat this Bo Echo that's moving into Bullinger County right now as a tornado. The winds are as strong as a tornado, and it is having a much greater impact than a small tornado would. This is covering the whole county right now. Now it's moving into northern Bullinger County and eventually going to move into Cape County as this continues to race off to the east. You said they're tracking at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. Is that correct?
Yes, the whole line is 50 to 55 miles per hour. We just got an impressive report from Washington County 911. This also includes the Iron County area. Dozens of reports of trees down over primary and secondary highways. Again, this is for Washington and Iron County. This is the Bo Echo that moved through, and it caused several trees down over primary, secondary roads, multiple calls for transformers blown in Washington County in southeast Missouri. So this is serious, very serious, folks. I know we have a few severe thunderstorms that will produce some large hail and back to western Kentucky and parts of southeast Missouri, but the line, this Bo Echo, is producing wind damage. We are getting 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts and possibly higher. This will continue moving to the southeast. And Grant, I know that there was a severe thunderstorm, a new severe thunderstorm watch that was issued. No word as of yet. I expected that it's the PDS severe thunderstorm watch.
That's what they were talking about. I'm getting the chat room just going nuts because of how much stuff is happening.
Right.
They're continuing the tornado watch for parts of the area, and yeah, the severe thunderstorm watch was just issued, and that's supposed to be the
there it is.
The PDS, the particularly dangerous situation, and
continues until midnight. This is incredibly rare.
Okay, so they've extended it till midnight now. For most of us, the threat's going to be over with, I think, before midnight. They just create the watch because of how many counties will be impacted for a certain amount of time. But a particularly dangerous situation for a severe thunderstorm watch happens maybe once or twice a year. It very rarely happens. And to get reports of numerous trees blocking roadways, power transformers blown, this is a significant high wind event. I know that you may have a lot of weather people out there that know a lot of weather terms. This appears to be a derecho that is forming. And what is that? That is a widespread severe weather event where we see numerous reports of winds over hurricane force and occasional spin-up tornadoes. And that appears to be what is happening right now as we are watching this evolve across the heartland right now. An intense line of storms. Now, we had a new severe thunderstorm warning issued for 70-mile-per-hour winds and golf ball-size hail with this storm near Murray, Kentucky. So again, we've been mentioning Kentucky Lake. You got another severe storm that's about to move over you. And this is very, very intense. I want to kind of check the winds inside the storm to see if we're okay wind-wise. Very strong wind. Wow, very strong winds moving through Murray right now, right across Murray State. Very strong winds over, what's that, Campus Suites Boulevard. That is going to be, that fuchsia color there you can see on the legend there, getting close to 70-mile-per-hour winds right on the northern side of Murray, Kentucky. So that's why that new severe thunderstorm warning was issued. And we have numerous other severe thunderstorm warnings, again, exiting eastern Kentucky. I don't want you to think that hey, we're ignoring you. We're going to zoom in on this area. But, folks, the storms here, yes, they are severe, but we're talking 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail. We're not talking 100-mile-per-hour winds moving through the Princeton area. We're not looking at the threat of tornadoes. At least it hasn't appeared that way. We'll look inside this storm to make sure. And no tornadoes, just strong straight-line winds moving through the Princeton area as we speak. And through the Marion, Kentucky area, this will rapidly move out of the heartland. This is the last edge of counties that we have here in our viewing area across western Kentucky. But our main concern is this Bo Echo that is moving in towards Bullinger County and eventually Cape Girardeau County. This is going to cause some significant issues. We're going to be seeing a lot of damage. We've got about 40 minutes until 6 o'clock. And I know our main concern, though, is this is moving into some very highly populated areas now. It's been going through some areas where people go for recreation, and hopefully we gave plenty of warning to get people off the rivers and off the lakes. But what is headed our way now is extreme strong winds, and it's now in Bullinger County. This is just rapidly moving off to the east. And unfortunately, it's entering that area of that purple haze. But boy, that blue is still 80 to 90 mile per hour winds moving across parts of Bullinger County right now. That is moving towards Cape Girardeau County. So for you folks in the Marble Hill area, I'm mentioning you again, you've got some very strong straight line winds headed your way. Scopus, very strong straight line winds headed your way. Jackson, very strong straight line winds headed your way. What I would like to do, if we could get a operator on the West Cape Girardeau Skycam. I don't want to see it behind me. I just want to make sure it's facing to the west so we have a view of this storm. So scan that camera out over the interstate, if you will. We've got a camera on the hospital there in Cape Girardeau, and we can look at this storm as it moves in. Won't be able to see much right now. We'll be able to see this storm, but I want to be able to see this storm when it crosses into Cape Girardeau County. Very strong straight line winds are likely. Moving into Marble Hill right now, very strong winds. This blue is 80 mile per hour winds at least moving into Marble Hill. So Marble Hill, you need to be in your safe spot. You need to be in your basement if you have it. Treat this severe thunderstorm as it was a tornado. We're talking about winds possibly gusting as high as 100 miles per hour. What will that do? That will knock your power out. That will knock trees over. That will put trees on top of houses. So if you have a large tree near your house, that's why you need to be in your basement in case the tree falls on your house, or in a small interior room if you don't have a basement. Unfortunately, if you live in a mobile home, this type of wind will possibly knock a mobile home off its foundation, could even flip it over. So that's why we mentioned earlier in the day to be in a sturdy shelter. We mentioned yesterday, find a way to get to a sturdy shelter if you did not live in a sturdy shelter. Do not venture out, especially if you have a high-profile vehicle. If you have a high-profile vehicle, this wind will knock it off the road. It will blow you off the road. That's how strong these winds are. If you have a big van or a truck, that just acts as a sail and the wind catches it and pushes it off. So we had just had an update to the severe thunderstorm warning, I think, or maybe a new one. I'm going to pan out and